First, preparation. Ask the client to undress, keeping only their undergarments on. Body jewelry, such as belly button rings, must come off. Next, put on some gloves. Now we're going to begin with the silicone handpiece. Make sure the silicone handpiece is completely dry before attaching it inside the connecting device. Take off the top of the device and line up the bottom yellow knob with the bottom of the silicone handpiece. Put the top back onto the device and lock it into place. Apply a light amount of macadamia nut oil onto the chest, shoulders, arms, abdomen, thighs, under the knees, and feet. Substitute in grapeseed oil if the client is allergic to nuts. Now, throw away your used gloves and put on a new pair. Set the speed on the machine to 50 for 15 minutes. Start the lymphatic drainage part of the treatment. Always make sure the rotation of the handpiece is going towards the heart, and repeat the motion 6 to 10 times before moving on to the next area. The technique to use is to roll, then lift off the body. Begin with the chest. Start on the chest and work in a downward motion. For the arm, start at the elbow and go up towards the shoulder. For the thigh, work from above the knee up towards the hip. For the calf, have the client lift their leg up and work their calf up towards the thigh. Now repeat the same pattern work on the other side of the body. Work on the abdomen starting at the lower abdomen, working upwards towards the heart. At this point, you will have the client turn over and lay face down. Apply a light amount of oil to the body. Substitute in grapeseed oil if the client is allergic to nuts. On the feet, work from the toe to the heels. On the leg, start with the calf and work upwards towards the inner knee. Then from the inner knee up to the hip. On the back of the arm, work from above the elbow towards the shoulder. Repeat the same areas on the other side of the body. Continue onto the upper back and work downwards towards the client's bra line. For the lower back, work upwards towards the bra line. At this time, have the client use the restroom and ask that when they come back to the room to put on their bodysuit. Once the bodysuit is on the client, make sure there are no creases on the bodysuit, because this can cause pinching. Now we're going to clean the silicone handpiece. Rinse the white silicone handpiece with soap and warm water. Spray it with Cavicide, and if you see any dirt, use a toothbrush in between the hard-to-reach areas. Make sure to dry it off immediately. For the second portion of the treatment, switch the silicone handpiece to the gold titanium handpiece. Take off the top of the device and line up the bottom yellow knob with the bottom of the titanium handpiece. Put the top back onto the device and lock it into place. Depending on the client's comfort level, set the speed on the machine. Speed starts at level 75 and can go up to 100. Set the treatment time for 20 minutes. Start the toning contouring part of the treatment. You are working on the muscle and not the lymph nodes, so you will not treat the chest or feet. The technique you want to use is a swift rolling motion back and forth. Repeat the swipe 6 to 10 times before moving on to the next area. On bony areas such as the upper back, do not add any pressure. Let the machine do all of the work. Have the client lay on their back and start on one side of the body and then treat the other side. Always move the device towards the heart. Treat the areas in the following order: arms, thighs, abdominal. Ask the client to move into a sexy pose, meaning one leg straight, one leg bent in. Focus on contouring their problem areas. This will differ from guest to guest. Once finished with one side of the body, ask the client to switch to their other side and repeat. Treat the areas in the following order: thighs, lower abdomen, waist, upper back. Ask the client to turn over onto their back. Once finished with one side of the body, repeat the treatment on the other side. Treat the areas in the following order: calves, thighs, banana roll, and arms. Ask the client to place their arms above their head. Treat the areas in the following order: love handles, upper back, making sure to work around the bone. Lastly, you'll want to clean the titanium handpiece. Clean the titanium handpiece with an alcohol wipe. Now we're going to go over some handpiece safety. To control which direction the handpiece spins, whether it's towards you or away from you, press the small silver buttons at the bottom of the handpiece. Avoid going over any bones, for example, the rib or the hip, because this will be uncomfortable and can be painful for the client. When rolling the device on the client, make sure the weight is in the center, or else the skin can get caught in the device and pinch the client.
Like this. You don't want to be going and doing this because then the skin can get caught in here. You don't want to do this because then the skin can get caught in here. You want to make sure you're pretty centered with the way that you're rolling it on the skin.
Whenever you remove the handpiece, always make sure the yellow knob is still in place.